it's me, Jeremy Campilan, a Bachelor of Physical Education second year student. So for today's video, I am going to tackle about the different survival floating and the kicks in swimming and their difference and importance.
Duck float or mushroom float. Bring your knees to the chest, submerging the face and hugging the legs. It is a preliminary skill for somersaulting and is also useful for developing confidence as a duck float position feels movely and triggers a feeling of tipping over. Dead man's float or starfish float. A prone floating position with face downward, legs extended backward, and arms stretched forward. Like a dead man, your body must float like that. Jellyfish float or survival float. This technique is quite straightforward. Standing in waist-deep water, the swimmer takes a deep breath, puts his face in the water, arms hanging down, and allows the water to support the body. The swimmer lifts his feet off the bottom and his body moves to the surface in a ball-like form. You can also grab your ankle when learning the technique. Horizontal back float. When performing the horizontal back float, you don't use much energy and you stay fairly comfortable. In the horizontal back float, you lie on your back in the water with your back slightly arched, your arms out to the sides, and your legs straight. Your face won't go underwater and your legs, if relaxed, will float. Prone float. Stand in the shallow end of a swimming pool. The water should come only to your chest. If you are uncomfortable or unfamiliar with your face underwater, wear a swim mask and adjust it slightly to keep water out of your eyes. Inhale and fill your lungs with as much air as you can. Hold your breath, bend at the waist in a slow, deliberate motion until your face is in the water. At the same time, place your hands on the front of your thighs. Do not put your entire head underwater, only your face. You will begin to float with your back horizontal with the water surface. And now, let's go to the different kicks in swimming. Frog kick. Heels are drawn up toward the seat, soles face upwards. Feet turn outwards to allow the heels and soles to aid propulsion. Heels push back and outwards in a whip-like action. Heels drawn towards the seat and feet turn out. Heels drive back in a circular whip-like action, giving the kick power and motion. Kick finishes in a streamlined position with legs straight and toes pointed. Dolphin kick. Both legs do a simultaneous sweeping movement with the feet pointed. This looks a bit like the up and down movements of a dolphin's tail, which explains the name of this swimming technique. Next is the scissor kick. It's a powerful kick that provides a resting period between arm strokes. To do the scissor kick, bring your knees together and then bend them as you bring your lower leg and heels towards the buttocks. Without pausing, move your legs into the catch position. Move your top leg forward and your bottom leg back until your legs and knees are straight. To move into the flower face, bring both legs back together with a forceful snapping motion like closing a pair of scissors. Keep your legs together during the glide position with the toes pointed back. Next is the flutter kick. The flutter kick begins at the hips and flows to the feet. As one foot moves downward, the other comes up in a fluttering rhythm. Kick from the hip and thigh, not from the knee. During the downward part of the kick, your ankle stays relaxed, toes are pointed behind you, and your knee is slightly bent. As your foot reaches the end of the kick, straighten your leg and allow your foot to snap downward. As your foot moves upward, keep that leg and knee straight. The kick should be smooth and steady, and your feet should stay just under the water with only your heels breaking the surface. Your big toes should almost touch one another as they pass. You can practice the kick by holding the edge of the pool or by supporting yourself on a kickboard. Vertical kick. Just like with the position of the flutter kick, that is how you are going to position yourself with the vertical kick. Just like in the flutter kick, your feet will simultaneously kick, but in a smooth manner. Whip kick. Whip kick starts in the glide position. Bring your heels towards the hips at about a 45-degree angle, just beneath but not breaking the water surface. Keeping your knees bent, spread your knees until they are no farther apart than hip width. Your feet must be farther apart than your knees. Keep your ankles fully flexed and your toes pointed outward. This is the catch position. To begin the power phase, move your feet and lower legs in a whipping motion, pushing outward and backward until your legs and feet are touching in a glide position. At the end of the power phase, your toes should be pointed back and away from your body. The speed of the whip kick should increase rapidly and continue until the end of the kick. Some survival floating can be coordinated with some of the kicks in swimming. Just like in vertical back float, where it uses the flutter kicks in order to stay afloat and maintain the head of the swimmer above the water. Likewise in the treading water, where it uses the scissor kicks to maintain the swimmer's body floating in longer time. All of these techniques in swimming are beneficial to one swimmer, especially in avoiding any accident or injury that may occur. Both are different ways in order to maintain and stay afloat the person and be able to relax and recover from the water, which is to breathe. Floating is one of the most important skills that an individual should learn. Floating equips an individual with the ability to roll to their back and stay at the water surface, which places them